Hey, beautiful souls. So I have a message for you from Spirit. There's somebody who cannot stop thinking about you. They're thinking about you nonstop. And Spirit said to tell you why and what's going on. Okay, so what Spirit brought through was that this person thinks that your energy is very unforgettable and that you are in their head constantly. Kind of like when you get a song stuck in your head and you can't get it out of your head and it just repeats and repeats and repeats, okay? Like you are their favorite song. That's what I heard. Like you're repeating in their head like you are their favorite song, and there's an emotional pull, okay? And I heard gravity, like a gravitational pull. It's like, wow, the two of you are super compatible too. That's what Spirit is telling me. And they feel that your energy, it lingers, okay? So there's something about your energy that just feels so good to this person that it lingers, and it's like they can't get enough of it. Have you ever wondered why the human mind gets a song stuck in its head? Scientists call it an involuntary musical imagery, an earworm. Neurologically, it happens when there is an open loop, a rhythm the brain cannot quite resolve, or a melody that stirred an emotion so sharp the nervous system simply refuses to let it fade into background noise. The mind plays it again and again and again. Not because it wants to annoy itself, but because it is trying to solve something. It is trying to understand why a few simple nodes manage to rearrange the entire emotional landscape of an ordinary day. For weeks now, someone in your life has been living with you, playing on an endless loop in the back of their mind, and it didn't start with an earthquake. It didn't begin with a cinematic confession or a dramatic collision under pouring rain. It began in the smallest, most unremarkable fraction of a second. It was the way your voice dropped when you said goodbye. It was the way you tilted your head while listening to a story that wasn't even particularly interesting. It was the casual, unscripted warmth you offered when they weren't expecting anyone to be kind to them. To you, those moments were just part of your day. You threw them into the air like loose change and kept walking. To them, those moments were oxygen delivered to someone who had forgotten they were holding their breath. Most people believe that when someone develops an all-consuming crush from into people, the underlying emotion is desire. We assume it is about wanting to hold someone, wanting to be seen with them, wanting the intoxicating thrill of being chosen by someone attractive. We reduce it to chemistry. We dress it up in the language of attraction. But if you look underneath the surface of this person's obsession, past the physical pull, past the daydreaming, past the way their eyes track you across the floor when you walk into the room, you will find an emotion that is far heavier, far quieter, and infinitely more complicated than simple lust. You will find the profound, quiet shame of being someone who cares too much. We live in a culture that treats emotional detachment like a virtue. We reward the people who can text back 3 days later with a single lowercase word. We applaud the ones who move through social spaces with cool indifference, never letting their heartbeat elevate, never letting anyone see them sweat, never admitting that they need anyone for anything. We have turned apathy into armor and called it maturity. So imagine what happens to a person who has lived by those unwritten rules when you suddenly enter their orbit. They didn't plan on being disarmed. They had their routine. They had their defenses neatly organized. They knew how to engage in polite, shallow conversations that cost nothing and risked even less. They were safe inside their own emotional neutrality. And then you spoke to them. You didn't just talk. You resonated. You brought an authenticity into the room that made their carefully practiced indifference feel suddenly embarrassingly cheap. When you looked at them, you didn't look at the resume or the curated persona they present to the world. You looked directly into their eyes, and in doing so, you accidentally exposed this immense, starving emptiness they had been hiding beneath their composure. The most humiliating thing in the world is not being rejected. It is realizing that someone has completely disarmed you without even pulling a weapon. That is the unexpected sting that haunts them when they are driving home in the dark. They are furious with themselves. They sit at red lights, gripping the steering wheel, asking why on earth a 3-minute conversation near a doorway has managed to occupy 16 hours of their mental energy. They feel exposed. They feel ridiculous. They feel like an awkward child who has wandered into an adult room without shoes. And so, to protect themselves from that vulnerability, they do what every terrified human being does. They retreat into their own mind and begin to build. They dissect every interaction you have ever shared with the precision of a surgeon. If you smiled at them on Tuesday, they go home and replay that smile 50 times before they fall asleep. Was it a polite smile? Was it a knowing smile? Did your eyes linger for half a second longer than they did when you smiled at someone else? If you responded to a text with a brief answer, they stare at the screen for 20 minutes, analyzing the punctuation, wondering if they crossed a boundary, wondering if they sounded desperate, wondering if they revealed too much of the ocean they are carrying in a cup. They beat themselves up mercilessly. They tell themselves they should have said something smarter, something funnier, something that would have left an indelible mark on your memory. They replay past conversations and rewrite their own dialogue, full retroactively trying to make themselves into the person they believe you deserve to talk to. Full what they don't realize, what almost nobody realizes when they are drowning in this kind of overthinking, is that you never needed them to be brilliant. Well, you were drawn to them in the moments when their armor failed, not the moments when they polished it. Think about the absurdity of what is happening inside them right now. Well, when they are around their friends, your name has become a persistent involuntary reflex. They try not to bring you up. They literally make internal deals with themselves before walking into a room. Well, I will not mention them tonight. I will talk about work. I will talk about sports. I will talk about the weather. Tea, and then 5 minutes into a conversation about something completely unrelated. Well, they hear their own voice saying, oh, that reminds me of something they said the other day. Their friends have started looking at each other. They roll their eyes. They laugh, not to be cruel, but because the transparency of it is so complete. Everyone in their circle knows that this person has fallen off the edge of a cliff, while the person themselves is still trying to convince the room that they are standing firmly on solid ground. Well, it is impossible to hide a fire when the smoke is coming out of your mouth with every breath you take. And yet, despite the fact that their feelings are practically glowing in the dark, well, they remain frozen. Why? Well, why doesn't someone who feels this much simply walk across the room, look you in the eyes, and say the words? Well, because of the secret domesticity of their imagination, they have not just imagined flirting with you. Well, they have not just imagined what it would feel like to kiss you in a dark parking lot or share a bottle of wine on a weekend. Their thoughts have wandered into territory that is far more intimate, and therefore far more dangerous. They have imagined Sunday mornings. They have imagined standing in an ordinary kitchen, barefoot, waiting for water to boil, watching you read something on your phone while the morning light cuts across the counter. They have imagined merging their messy, complicated life with yours, introducing you to their siblings, having you sit at their family table, figuring out whose furniture goes where, creating an entire shared history out of ordinary, unglamorous days. They have imagined a life where they no longer have to explain who they are, because you already know the terror of a great love is never about the passion. It is about the unbearable risk of offering someone your everyday, boring self and praying they don't get tired of looking at it too. That is the precipice they are standing on. When you imagine a grand, dramatic romance, the stakes are oddly low. If it fails, it burns out in a blaze of glory. You lick your wounds, write some sad poetry, and move on with a good story. But when you imagine peace with someone, when you imagine a quiet, gentle, enduring partnership that heals the fractured parts of your past, failure is not just a breakup. Failure is the destruction of the only future that made sense. If they confess to you and you tell them that you only see them as an acquaintance, they don't just lose you, they lose the sanctuary they have been building in their imagination. They lose the morning coffee in the sunlight. They lose the blended family. They lose the only version of their life that felt like it had music in it. So they stay silent. They choose the safe, agonizing perfection of the fantasy over the terrifying, unpredictable reality of a real human conversation. They wear their silence like a winter coat in July, sweating underneath the weight of it, but too afraid of the cold to take it off. And what about you? What is your role in this quiet drama that has been unfolding in the space between you? You have felt the pull. Do not pretend you haven't. There is a law in physics that says every action has an equal and opposite reaction. But there is an unspoken law in human psychology, Clergy, that is even more reliable. No one can carry this much intense, focused energy toward another person without the other person feeling the atmospheric pressure shift. You have walked into a room and felt a sudden, inexplicable prickle on the back of your neck. You have caught them staring, watched their eyes dart away with guilty speed, and felt a strange electric tension hang in the air for 5 seconds after neither of you said a word. You have had their name pop into your head while you were standing in the middle of a grocery aisle, completely unprompted, with no logical reason for why they should be in your thoughts. You are not imagining the connection. You are simply receiving the broadcast. You have been holding your breath too, waiting for them to find the courage to say what you both already know is true. Here is the deep, life-altering realization that this entire experience is trying to bring to the surface. This person's obsession with you is not really about your beauty, though you are beautiful. It is not really about your charm, though you have plenty of it. Their obsession is their soul's desperate refusal to go back to sleep. Before they met you, they had settled for an emotional existence that was functional, predictable, and completely dead. They were living in black and white, and they had convinced themselves that that color was an unnecessary indulgence for people who hadn't grown up yet. You walked into their life and accidentally turned the volume up on everything. You reminded them that their heart is still capable of pounding against their ribs. You reminded them that a glance can make their stomach drop. You proved to them that they are still capable of yearning for something deeper than convenience. You became the wake-up call they didn't know they had set, and once a human being has been woken up, they can never truly go back to sleep. They can close their eyes. They can pull the blankets over their head. They can lie very still and pretend they are resting, but the daylight is already in the room. That they know the sun is up. The dam is cracking now. You can see it in the way they look at you lately. The hesitation is changing its texture. It is no longer the hesitation of someone who's trying to run away. It is the trembling stillness of an archer who has pulled the bowstring back as far as it can possibly go and is waiting for the exact moment to let it fly. They are running out of excuses to give their friends. They are running out of ways to explain why they are always near your desk, always lingering by your car, always finding a reason to ask you a question that could have been answered with a 5-second search on the internet. They are exhausted from the double life they are living. The quiet, cool exterior they show to the world, and the roaring, chaotic symphony of devotion that plays in their chest whenever you walk past them. The tension has become too dense to survive in the dark. So when the moment comes, and it will come, probably on an ordinary day when neither of you is dressed up, when the world is noisy and unromantic and completely real, prepare yourself for what is about to be handed to you. It will not be a polished speech. They will probably stumble. They will probably say something backwards, or clear their throat 3 times, or look down at their shoes, because meeting your eyes while telling the truth feels like looking directly into a nuclear blast. Their hands might shake a little. Their voice might crack around the edges. Let it happen. Do not rush to fill the silence with a joke. Do not try to smooth over the awkwardness to make it easier for them. Recognize that what you are watching is not a performance. It is an excavation. You are watching someone dig up the most tender, unprotected, terrified part of their humanity and lay it directly in your hands with zero guarantee that you will not drop it on the floor. It is the earworm finally becoming a song that is sung out loud. Listen to it. Because the world is full of people who will give you their polished, safe, edited selves. But when someone is willing to stand in front of you, trembling with the shame of how deeply they care, and admit that you have become the only melody their heart knows how to play, that is not just a crush. That is the beginning of something that has the power to change every single thing that comes after.
I love this for you. This person doesn't necessarily love, you know what? Okay. They do love the attention you get, but this person is all of a sudden struggling with feelings of like, wait a second. That's my person. Wait a second. And you want to know what it is? It's because you're not fully in commitment to one another. It's because you're not fully, like, you haven't had that conversation necessarily, or maybe you've danced around with it a little bit, but it's like you're still both deciding, right? Keyword both of you, because you get a choice too. But there's all of a sudden this person is like feeling a little bit of pressure, and I split the deck twice to the Fool card here. They're feeling a little bit of pressure of like, shoot, I don't want to be left behind. Like, I want to go wherever you go. I want to be with you wherever you go. Is that person looking at what's mine is what's happening right now? So keywords, mine is what's coming through. We have the Justice and the Fool. You're a hot commodity right now, actually, especially to this person. We have the King of Cups. This to me is an emotional offer, or at least emotional stability from this person. So where there might have been a lack of, there's going to be a lot more coming forward from this person. It's like, it's almost as if this person is finally starting to believe that it's a real between the two of you with the Three of Cups. Third-party situations could have been removed from this, or maybe that's what was holding this person back with the Knight of Pentacles. And by the way, this can mean a person, this can mean friends, it can mean family, it can mean business. So take what resonates, whatever feels right to you, and your intuition is your strongest asset. Please, please allow yourself to trust yourself in these moments, because otherwise there's no point in me being here for you if you aren't also establishing that relationship of trust with yourself, which is ultimately the point. So with this Knight of Pentacles, this is forward movement towards you. So this person will be taking action towards you. We have the High Priestess. You might not believe it. You may not believe it until you see it, which isn't honestly a bad thing, because like I said, this person is very about action. So they will be making sure that you know it physically, in a physical form. Like, they are going to show you off. Like, my God, this person loves they just love to look at you in your element. They also love to be seen with you. They desire to be seen with you. They also really love, and I think this is why it came through about your intuition, is because they love the way that you connect to your intuition. They love the way that you're learning to trust yourself. Keyword, learning to trust yourself. It's okay that you don't have it all together. They love that you are inspired to cultivate a healthier relationship with yourself. Like, that's what matters more than anything to this person. The Four of Swords, they also really don't mind. They do not mind that you don't necessarily trust them all the way, because it just gives them a chance to step into a more powerful energy for them and also for you. We have the Ace of Cups. This person has a lot to offer you. Like, when I tell you, they're not coming forward with just whatever. Like, when this person comes forward to you, you are going to have no choice but to believe it, because not only do their words align with what you feel, their actions align with what you feel and what you see. And it's your emotions. For some reason, your emotions are going to be very safe with this person. Like, you are going to be able to express yourself a lot more. You might already even be feeling called to, or notice that you are able to. This person wants to take weight off of your shoulders. They really enjoy seeing you in a restful energy, an abundant energy, like watching you shine, watching you rise, watching you rest, while they actually do more work is what brings it. Like, this is what does it for this person, okay? Watching you just in your goddess receiving energy, your restful energy, goddess glow. This person coming into offer, like, they want to be the one. They want to be the one to show you how it feels to be loved, like, to show you what it looks like through actions and their words. They also just see this as like, they see you as an upgrade. They see you as an upgrade for their life, as an opportunity for them to work to become some things or someone better in this world. You really inspire this person. God, they really want to like take you off the market is what's coming through as well here. God, angels, any last messages? They're going to be coming into money soon. This is someone who, this could even be related to the third party situation. This is someone who's going to have a lot. They're going to love spoiling you. Their shopping is significant. They're physically going to love spoiling you. Like, I know that you feel this because they They want to take you shopping. They want to show you what it is to be spoiled, because this is how they see you. This is how they see you. You light up this person's life in a way that no one else has. God. They might not be able to express verbally their feelings for you, but they are going to show you one very significant action at a time, followed by many, many more. They're going to leave you with no choice but to believe in their love for you. God, I love this for you. You deserve this. You've had enough of the wishy-washy, the confusion, the back and forth, toxic behavior, like all of that. You're no more. This person is going to like wash the slate clean. I mean, you already have by making the choices that you have, but this person is just going to show you or like confirm to you why all of that needed to happen and why everything happened the way that it did. So if you feel called to dive in further, readings are available through my website. I also have my Garden of Eden membership. You can join me for 7 days of texting, rituals, meditations, channeled messages, all of that you can find on my website if you click the link in my bio. Hello, my beautiful angels. Here's what you can expect in the next 24 hours. So we have the Fool card here. There's going to be some type of interaction with someone or some type of situation that that makes you all giddy inside and just really like lights up, just puts a smile on your face. I'm hearing like butterflies. You're gonna feel butterflies. It's gonna be very exciting. So this is gonna be an interaction with someone that you currently know. We have the Knight of Coins here. This person is taken with you. This person is really just in awe of Four of Cups here. This is such a beautiful give and take relationship or partnership or just connection with whoever this is. It might not be like an official commitment, but here they see you as such a beautiful figure. They are like, I don't want to use the word obsessed, but they are really, really into you, this person, this connection. So you're going to be traveling. There's travel very soon in the next week or two is what I'm hearing. And we have Ace of Cups. Okay, so you're making plans or you have plans currently for travel, and this travel is going to unlock something for you. It's something is sneaking out here. We have the Page of Wands and we have the Moon. We have an upcoming full moon. Something is going to happen during this upcoming full moon for you. We have the Knight of Pentacles. You're ready to step into this new adventure, this new timeline. You're going to enter a new time. You're going to shift timelines during this next new moon. Okay, with that in mind, no more games. Stop playing games with yourself. Stop allowing people to come into your life who do not deserve you. It's time to completely rid yourself of friendships and relationships that no longer deserve your energy, because where you are headed, it cannot go.